levels. No fellow with rebels. Some digging with shovels. They digging real deep.
Some humble, they hearken, they listen, they meet.
Some praise the Most High 7 days of the week.
Some put in that work and go teach in the streets.
Some just come to take up the air that we breathe.
Some come just to take up the space that we need. Their spiritual levels, they come in all shapes and the sizes, there's several.
Alright, shalom, yashala. I want to start off first and foremost, giving of course all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, Wamalak Yahweh Shah. Got a nice little lesson. It's not going to be too long or too strung out, but it's about staying in the spirit in these last days, man. It's about continuing to go hard. It's about continuing that first love that you had when you first came into this truth and continuing that energy the whole time in your life. I'm going to start off with Revelations 2 and 5. And it says, remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. So you got to come back to your first works, man. You got to stay diligent, and you got to, whenever you see yourself slacking, whenever you see yourself falling in this thing, because it's going to happen. No one stays 100% on fire all the time. No one is perfect in this thing. No people. That's the fight that we fight. The fight that you fighting is that you're going to mess up, that you got to examine yourself constantly to be able to correct yourself in times that are needed. So you have to come back to these first works, or the Most High remove your candlestick. What is the candlestick? That's the spirit that the Most High has in you. That spirit that burns. That spirit that when you first came into this truth and you learned that you was an Israelite and you got your, when you started keeping the commandments, you got your first shirt with fringes on it. When you first was out there telling people, people in your family, the truth of the Most High, keeping that burning spirit, man. Let me go to this real quick. Proverbs 20 and 27, just to break that candlestick down, because the Most High can take that spirit away from you if you take it for granted. Proverbs 20 and 27, and it reads, "The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly." So, the spirit of the Most High is the candle, right? That candle He has burning for you, it started when you first came into this truth. And when He first led you up to this truth, man, He made it put you through a video. He made it have somebody around you. He made it put something. You know, the Most High do some crazy things. You might have walked by some brothers. The Most High has a way of bringing you into this thing, man. Now it says that the spirit of man is a candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly. That means you need to be making sure that you're 100% in this thing, man. That your intentions are true. Because when you're not staying diligent and you're not staying constant serving the Most High, your intentions turn into other things, man. This truth becomes a fad for you, man. This truth becomes something you do on the sidelines, or something you do, you just do, right? And you never can make the truth that, because this is a glorious gift from Yahweh Himself that has been given to you, right? So who are you to sit there and play with this? Let me get Galatians 5, right? Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16, right? And it reads, it says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." Now the lust of the flesh, you're dealing with different lusts you're dealing with, but one of the main lusts of the flesh is getting too comfortable in this truth, man. You got a lot of people that came into this truth mighty, and now you're slacking off. You know, now you're not going as hard as you used to. Now you sort of, you waiting on the Sabbath to be over with. Now you don't fast. Now you don't pray. Now you don't be diligent to serve the Most High. That's a major problem, right? And it says, verse 17, "For the flesh lusteth against the spirit." What does that mean? That means the flesh lusts against the spirit. When you're in the spirit, when you're really in the spirit of the Most High and you're studying, you're reading, you're taking time out to pray, you're fasting, right? And you're connecting with your Creator, right? Once you're doing that constantly, the flesh the flesh is against that, right? The flesh no longer can coincide when you're walking in the spirit. That's why when brothers are in the spirit, they find themselves learning things. They find themselves getting better. They find themselves increasing in knowledge, right? And casting off the things that been holding them back for so long. Now, what does it say also? It says And these are contrary one to another, right? Well, let me read that again. The flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. So when the spirit lusts against the flesh, and those things are contrary one to another, right? So that's why when you're in the when brothers, and everyone has it, ain't nobody in here ain't never dealt with where they in the flesh, right? When you're not moving in the spirit, right? And when you're moving in the flesh, you're gonna walk in the flesh. That means you're gonna be doing things. Your whole thing's gonna be off. Your whole movement is gonna be off. You're gonna find yourself sinning. You're gonna find yourself sinking deeper and deeper into a hole. Why? Because you're not continuing to walk in the spirit. Why? Because you're not putting the Most High in the forefront of your life, right? Like he gave you this truth, like he gave you this wisdom. And it says, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. That's why, like when brothers are in the flesh, or let me change that. When brothers are in the spirit, the flesh can't really mess with you, then, man. You're not finding yourself dealing with lust. You're not finding yourself dealing with lying. You're not finding yourself dealing with these different sins that you can commit when you're walking in the flesh, because you're in the spirit. And when you're in the flesh, man, you sort of don't want to get in the spirit. You don't find yourself reading the Bible. You sort of just you're not really watching videos anymore. You're not watching the truth. You pray to the Most High only when you go to bed. You're not saying nothing. You're not staying diligent, man. And those are the things that can get you out of here. These are the things that lead to a small slope. Now, you can recover from this slope. The Most High is giving you the door to recover from this slope. He's giving you the way to recover from these downfalls. But you got to stay in it. You got to stay hungry. Let's get Romans 8 and 5. Get Romans 8 and 5. So like it. All right, this is Romans chapter 8 and verse 5. And like I said, this isn't going to be a long lesson, but it's going to be, through the Spirit. Romans 8 and 5. Right? It says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. What does that mean? When you look around in the world, man. All the people that care about things of the flesh, they care about riches, money, whoredoms, lust. The reason why they care about those things, because those are the things that they esteem. Those are the things they look up to. Right? Let me read that again. And you got to read that again. Romans 8 and 5. It says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. That's all they care about. Why do you think when we out there in the highways and byways and we trying to tell people that's walking in the flesh about the truth, that they don't care about the truth? People say, I got something else to do. I got better things to do. I got places I got to go. I got, they coming up with anything because they walking in the flesh. Right? But what does it say? It says, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. So if you're after the spirit, you're going to care about the things of the spirit, right? You're going to care about walking spiritually, right? Walking after these laws and statutes and commandments of the Most High. Stand diligent in your praises to him. When you fall, asking for mercy and forgiveness. These are the things that are required of you, man. If you stop taking heed to these requirements, you're going to fail. You're going to fall. It's not going to work for you. Because you made other things your God. You're falling into this trap that everyone else that we're preaching about is falling into. And it's easy to do. When you're all around darkness and you only got one little speck of light, you got to hold on to that light. Now let's get Matthew 5 and 6 real quick. Matthew 5 and 6. And it reads. Matthew 5 and 6. It says, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. So you got to hunger and thirst. You never know when you hungry. You know when you hungry and when you thirsty. You can't really get right because you're so hungry, man. It's constantly on your mind. When you thirst, you can't really do anything because you're parched. Your mouth is dry. You're dehydrated. The same way with this wisdom, man. The same way when you after righteousness, after these laws, statutes, commandments. When you stop worrying about the Most High, you're going to be spiritually parched. You're going to be spiritually dehydrated, right? And what does dehydration lead to? It leads to death, right? And that's what's going to happen to you is death once you stop caring about the Most High. When you stop thirsting after righteousness, when you stop wanting it, You got to want it. You got to look. You got to care for those things, man. You got to be diligent. And we all fall through, even myself, man. You're going to fall in low points and you got to get up. You got to stay strong. You got to stay diligent. You got to get back to your first love. And that happens to the best of us, even in the prophets. You think they were exempt for this? You think all the brothers, the apostles, you think they was exempt for this? You think the sisters that laid their life down for the Most High, you think they were exempt for this? No, you have to stay diligent. You have to make yourself. And we all understand this all in the Most High. And he's going to give this spirit to those in whom he chose. Right? And those are the ones who I'm talking to. Let's get let's get Proverbs 4. Proverbs 4 and verse 23. Proverbs 4 and 23, it says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So you got to keep your heart with all diligence. That means you got to make sure your mind is on the right things. Because whenever you stray from the Most High, whenever you stray from this truth, that's when you get all these issues that come in. This is when you get falling away from the Most High. This is when you get walking in the ways that aren't true, right? You have to keep constant control of your mind. And if you don't stay diligent and walk in the spirit, what do you think that mind is going to focus on? What do you think your heart is going to focus on? It's going to focus on the flesh. It's going to focus on the things that are not profitable, right? In verse 24, it says, put away from thee a forward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. So you got to keep your focus, man. You got to have tunnel vision in this thing, man. Whenever you stop having tunnel vision, it's not going to go good for you, man. You may think in your mind and think you can slack off with the Most High and he's cool with it. Or think you can half do it and think you still going to get the kingdom. You're not going to be among that number, man. I promise you, if you don't get back up, you're not going to be among that number. If you don't stay diligent, if you don't stay in these scriptures, if you're not caring about the Most High, what makes you think he's going to care about you enough to deliver you? Come on now. You got to think about that. And it says, ponder the path of thy feet and let all thy ways be established. That means you got to be constantly thinking on what you should do according to these laws, statutes, commandments, according to this word he's given to you. You're not constantly thinking about what you should do when you're not making him the frontlet of your eyes. When you're not putting him in front and caring about him constantly, man. You're making yourself like these people in the world. And it says, turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. What does that mean? You have to remove your foot from evil. The right hand and the left hand, you have to stay focused on this path. Now, when you go to the right hand and to the left hand, you're getting off the path. You're detouring, right? Now, a detour is not an end, but you can always recover from this detour. But the mercy is up to the Most High. You got to stay focused and diligent on him, right? And these are the ways, and these are the people that's going to make it to the end. These are the people that you see. A lot of the people that come in too fast, they get burnt out. A lot of the people that come in, Esau going to be destroyed. All hell finna break loose. And these are the brothers that only last 20 minutes or a spiritual 20 minutes. Right? What does that mean? They last 5 months in the truth. And before you know it, they moved on to the crazy doctrine. Right? Calling themselves Egyptians. Calling themselves all these men of things. Why? Because they focus so much on the flesh. They put their focus on things of the world. How can you be a spiritual man and putting your focus on things of the world constantly and think that you can still walk in the spirit? You should find that out. A wise man has tried and searched out and have found those things that you can't do it. Right? So let's go to this. And you got to understand, this is critical. It's very critical. Let's get actually, before we go back to Matthew, let me get Revelations real quick. Get Revelations 2, right? This is Revelations chapter 2 and verse 26. And it reads, it says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my words unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So you see all these brothers out here, all these camps, all these people, we believe in the Most High, right? And we want this kingdom. The people that are going to get this kingdom, the people that's going to be ruling over Esau, that's going to be having this rulership are going to be those that overcame, right? Are those that kept the words to the end, right? Not just half slack and, they came into the truth and, they learned Deuteronomy 28 and, they learned the basics and, they sort of said they were still Israelites, but yet the fruit is not there. When you look on the tree, it's barren, right? Let's get Colossians. So make sure you have to observe yourself in every matter, man. You have to be constantly above yourself because it's easy for Satan to get the advantage on you, man. It's easy for these spirits to get advantages over you once you're not observing yourself, when you're not moving in a spiritual mind. That's what's going to happen. Let's get Colossians chapter 3. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. What does that mean? That don't mean, you're sitting up at the sky, looking up at the sky. That means you're setting your affection. Your affection is your like, your caring, what drives you. You're setting what drives you on the spiritual things. The things above are the spiritual things, right? The things on earth are the carnal things. The things on the earth are the flesh that we're reading about, that we read about in Romans 8 and 5. You have to set your mind on this truth. Set your mind on Yahweh Shah coming back. Set your mind on your people being resurrected from this death that they're in, man. That will rise up from this hell that we in. Set your mind on being a diligent leader, whether it be in your city, your town, your state, or whatever. Set your mind on the Most High, His commandments, and loving your people, right? And you won't fare never. You'll fare never the worst, right? Because you're focused on the things of the Most High. Your mind is diligent and constantly. And I could have did a whole video on being lazy, but this wasn't what I want to do about this video. I didn't want to make it on not to be lazy, because there's plenty of scriptures on that. This is a scripture. This is a video on making sure that you continue in that path, right? Making sure that you don't go away from this path, right? And that you continue in that fire. Don't lose that fire, man. And do the works that the Most High has required of you, right? Let's get Matthew 6. See, this is and actually, I'm going to continue on Colossians real quick. Let's go to Colossians 3 while we were just on. We read verse 2. And let's jump down. We can read to 5. 5 is the point, but we'll read to 5. It says, for ye are dead, and your life is hid in the Mashiach, in the Most High. When Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Now what does he say? He says, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection. Now inordinate affection, you can set we also know what inordinate affection is, but you can also set your affections on the things of this earth, right? Caring about other things of this world, right? Evil concupiscence, right? And covetousness, which is idolatry, right? So when you put anything over the Most High, that's idolatry. If you covet, that's idolatry, right? For which things' sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience. So the Most High continue to tell us that, right? And if you continue to disobey him, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think he's giving you? And a lot of people, look, it's all of the Most High. A lot of people have no excuse. The Most High has put people in their life in the truth, put people in their life that serve the Most High, and they continue to disobey the Most High. They're not disobeying that man. They're disobeying the Lord. The Most High showed you the way to truth. He doesn't need you to come up with your own ways, you to search up on the internet long nights. He showed you the way of truth right here in these scriptures, right here in the law, statutes, commandments, right through his son, Yahweh Shah, who died on the cross for you, right? That's what you got to think about. I want to get this real quick. Let's get this real quick. It's Ephesians. Bear with me, Israel. Find a precept is on my mind. I think it's 32. I think it's a Sirach. Salakia. If I can't find it, Lord, when the Lord give it to me. Sorry, 32. All right, let's get this real quick. This is not what I wanted, but we'll go with it for now. It said, this is Sirach 32 and 24. It says, he that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment, and he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse. So if you believe in the Lord, you're going to take heed to what he's telling you. He's telling you to get out of this darkness. He's telling you to make him what you care about all the day, man. Make him the pinnacle of your life. That's what the prophets did. That's what the Messiah did. Are you really doing that? You know, are you really observing yourself in that matter to be able to correct yourself on that? That's what you have to do. Those are the ones that's going to make it, the ones who's looking, the ones who's watching, the ones who's paying attention to themselves. Let's get Matthew 6. Matthew 6, and let's get 33. And it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So in the scriptures before, he speaks about what shall we eat, what shall we drink, like everything everyone else worries about every day. You don't have to worry about that. What you have to worry about is seeking first the kingdom of God. And the Most High make sure you got food. He'll make sure you have water. He'll make sure you have raiment. He make sure you have a house, right? But seek first the thing that matters the most, the only thing that matters, which is the kingdom. You got people that put the kingdom on the back burner, man. Everyone and once in this truth, you're a liar if you said you haven't put the kingdom in the back burner. You have to correct that, man. You have to see that and correct that you've been slacking, that you've been not putting the Most High in front of your eyes and looking right on, right? Got to make sure that. Let's get Proverbs 16. Let's get Proverbs 16, right? Proverbs 16. And like I said, this isn't going to be a long video, maybe a 30-minute video. This is Proverbs 16 and 3. And it says, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. What does it mean to commit yourself? When you're committed, that means that's all you care about. I got to pull up a definition real quick, shortly. In the blue letter, because we got to get this, right? Because everyone knows what commit, but let's go into the real definition of what the meaning is here in the scripture. Proverbs 16 and 3. I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't pull it up on the screen, but I'll just read it to you. Yeah, sure. All right, commit. The word right there is galal, right? It means to roll up, to flow down, to be rolled, to roll oneself, to roll down, roll together, right? Literally, to let's get this: commit, remove, away, down, together, run down, seek occasion, trust, wallow. That means, hey, this is what you care about. This is what you care about. This is what's on your mind. You committed yourself unto the Lord. You care about the Most High. You know how people in the world, they commit themselves to a job. You know, all they talk about when you're around them is the business. All they talk about is money. All they talk about is, oh, the stock went down. All they talk about is all men. You know people that commit themselves to folly? You know, they commit themselves to all manner of. People commit themselves to all type of things, man. But you, as a servant of the Most High, have to commit yourselves unto the Lord, right? And thy thought shall be established. What does that mean? Your thought is going to be the right thing. You're going to be thinking right. Remember we read earlier about how your heart can be misled, right? This is what's going to keep you on the right path. This is what's going to make you look straight when you commit your ways unto the Lord. You have to commit your ways unto the Most High, right? So, I got a precept I want to bring out with that. Let me get this real quick. So, lock it. Psalms. Bear with me, Israel. Psalms 37. Psalms 37 and 5, right? And it says, commit thy way unto the Lord. Commit thy way unto Yahweh. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. That means, look, he's going to do whatever you need. Whatever you need in that time, he's going to bring it to pass. He's going to be there for you because you're trusting him, right? You're trusting in his way, right? You're serving him and walking surely and in truth. Now let's go to Israel. Let me go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10. Let's get that real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10, and it reads, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. That means you getting a shot at this, man. This is your shot to show that you are really down for the Most High. That you're really a servant of the Lord. That you really care for him. You got to prove it, man. We know that how you show your love to the Most High is by keeping his laws, statutes, commandments. But even deeper, how you show your love to the Most High is by continuing in his walk, man. By staying in it. By staying steadfast. By being diligent. By making him what you care about. Right? Now let's go to this. Let's get Proverbs 10 and 4. Right? Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. So if you start slacking with the Most High, you're going to become poor. What does that mean? You're not going to get the kingdom. You're going to fall out of the truth. You're going to be bugged out. You're going to turn away from him. Why? Because you're not being diligent. You're not caring about the source, right? The ones who care about the source, the ones who are being diligent and making sure that they're focused on the Most High, they're going to be made rich. They're going to get the kingdom of heaven, right? They're going to get the things that you're talking about. They're going to rule over the nations. But you're not going to rule over anything. Why? Because you can't even rule yourself to make sure you focus on the Lord. How can you rule over states? How can you rule over nations? Come on now. When you can't rule over yourself to some extent in his flesh. Right? Let's get this real quick. That's another good precept I want to get. Let's get, while we in Proverbs, let's get Proverbs 24 and 30. Right? Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 30. And it reads, I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns and nettles, and had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well, and I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. That means all it takes is a little bit, a little unfocused, a couple days of being out the spirit. A week out the spirit, and the Most High might get you out of here. A little slumber, a little sleep, a little not caring about him. And the Most High comes like Revelations 2 and 5 and saying, give me that spirit back. Right? Give me what I gave you and you did nothing with it. Just like he gave you the, you're going to be just like that man that was giving money and ready for the master. And when the master came, he didn't do anything with the money. Right? He went and buried it. Right? He was a slothful and wicked servant. And that's what you're going to be when you don't do anything with what the Most High is giving you. When you don't do anything with this truth. When you don't stay diligent and caring about him. Right? That's going to be your end also. That's why he gave you that parable. And we can go to the classic too. When we go to the classic, Proverbs 6 and 6 speaks about the ant. We don't even have to go there. Right? Well, actually, let's go there real quick. Let's go there real quick and deal with it. Salaki. Proverbs 6 and 6. It says, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, right, provideth her meat in the summer and gathereth her food in harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. So what is this saying? It's, look, you got to observe the ant. Look how diligent the ant is, right? And look how they get things done, right? You have the Most High. He shows you the way. If you don't stay diligent, you're going to become poor. A little sleep is going to take you out of here. Right? Why? Because he's the source of your food. He's the source of this wisdom and knowledge and understanding. You stop caring about him, what do you think your mind is going to focus on? It's going to focus on the world. It's going to focus on things that have no profit. Let's get Romans 13:11 real quick. This is Romans. And we read this all the time to people that's in the world. But guess what, Jake? This applies to you in the truth too. This applies to you in the truth. Right? Romans 13:11. And it says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. So this is for you in the truth, right? This ain't only for people in the world. You know what time it is. It says that that knowing the time, you know what the Most High is coming with. That now is the time to wake out of sleep. Because if you don't wake out of the sleep, what we just read in Proverbs 6, what's going to happen to you in that sleep? You're going to come to poverty. You're going to lose everything that you work for, right? Nettles and everything is going to be growing up. Everything that you work for is going to be destroyed, right? Now let's read this. Ephesians, I think we read this earlier, but I'm going to close out with it if we did. Ephesians 5:14, right? All right, Ephesians 5:14. And nah, I didn't read this at first. I like it. Ephesians 5:14. And it says that we henceforth, it's like it, that's the wrong scripture. Ephesians 5:14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. You know, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding remaineth in the congregation of the dead. You're going out of the way of understanding when you stop putting the Most High at the forefront of your life, right? Or what you care about all the time. If you put anything over the Most High, that's idolatry. You're breaking one of the 10 commandments. You have other gods. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Why? Because you're a fool if you put things before the Lord. You're a fool if you put riches before the Lord. You're a fool if you put a job before the Most High. You're a fool if you're trying to be a rapper or over caring about the Lord. These are the things that people in the world do. And we do so much talking about people in the world, you will find yourself in the same position if you don't continue to put the Most High in the forefront of your life. You're going to be just like the people that you're talking about. Don't you see? You're the nation of Israel. You got a record of doing this. Right? Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Right? These are evil days, this here. Right? And you have to redeem the time. You have to redeem yourself. When you fall down, you have to get right. You have to serve the Most High. You have to continue to have him at your forefront, in the frontless of your eyes. When Deuteronomy 6 says to keep them, when you teach the children, that the law should be like the frontless of your eyes. All that's saying is keep the Most High in the front of your eyes. This word in the front of your eyes. The things that you care about the most, the things that you uphold the most, the things that's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable is what this should be. All right. So I could pull out a couple more precepts, but I said I wasn't gonna make this too long. Hopefully, Israel, you was edified through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Shema Mashiach. Wamalak Yahushua, right? And that you got some type of understanding, some type of truth, some type of spirit that bring you refreshed, because everyone needs it. Me, myself included, right? Me, myself included. Until next time. Lord willing, Shalom Israel, and Kwam Yasharala.